And while they had his hand tied behind, while they were all holding both his hands, they shot him in the head. And that's only two of the shots.
Oh, I thought that was a number.
They executed my baby. They held his hands behind his back. So what you see on the news, when you see the officer, not the one that was straddling him, that shot him in the back of the head, but the one holding the gun, that's the one that shot him in his hands while his partner was shooting him in the back of his head, y'all. No mother. They shot my baby in the back of the head, y'all, while they were holding his hands. What? He's in heaven. His brains literally were laying on the ground yesterday when I went to where they shot him. I don't want nobody's sympathy, but y'all love on y'all motherfucking kids. Y'all love on y'all motherfucking kids, dog. When I say they executed my baby, that police video footage y'all saw, America so gung-ho about, where y'all see an officer and all y'all see is his gun drawn, that's because he was the one shooting my son in the hands that his partner had together like these. The dog was mawing at his neck. His neck is mauled up. From where the dog mauled, where the dog was mauling my neck, and they said that the dog wasn't strong enough to detain him. You had a dog eating at his face and his neck. A man straddling over him with his arms behind his back, and another officer standing off to the side, and the police still ain't saying nothing. Let me remove my glasses. The police still ain't saying nothing. Why they doing that way? And then they emptied his bag and laid the shit out to make it seem like he had a tried to empty stuff out. It was hot that day. What the fuck? My son sweat. The fuck is he gonna wear some gloves and he sweating on the bike? What y'all don't know is they sped that footage up because the police actually knocked him off that motherfucking bike. See, y'all can go by what the news tell y'all because the police gonna always have a different narrative, but we showed y'all what was real. We watched them stand over him while he was laying on his stomach. When does deadly force become the first? Mama Gwen, the first thing they resorted to while he was laying on his stomach.
Peace, Rip.
They shot my baby in the back of the head. They shot him in the back of the head.
Yeah. Rest in peace, you know what I'm saying? This is in Grand Rapids. All right. Rest in peace. We're going to do a little moment of silence. Not just for him. But for everybody that has to deal with this kind of brutality, and I'm not playing into what they're trying to do and the narrative they're trying to create. Don't mistake what I'm doing for any of that, because I don't play into that. And I know that they post this stuff on the internet and they post the videos in order to incite certain kind of things. But I'm pointing this out to point out the things that we've been talking about as of late, right? Y'all know what we've been talking about as of late, right? Hold on, let's get into it, y'all. That's just how I wanted to start the live off, because I don't want us to forget what we're really trying to do here. Right? And I don't want us to forget what the hell is going on. Because I think one of the issues is we done forgot what's really going on. Right? Right? We done forgot what's going on. And a lot of times when y'all see this kind of stuff, y'all think that it's just racism. And I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get it. You think that this is racism. But what I'm trying to tell you is there's a war going on and niggas just forgot, right? There's a war that's been going on for a long time. But we've amalgamated to this situation and this corporation so much and got so comfortable that we done forgot what the fuck is really taking place. And it never stopped, right? Because you're a resilient people. You feel me? So through your resilience and your strength and all that stuff, you done forgot what's going on. I'm just here to remind y'all what the fuck is happening, right? This is the Constitution, right? This is the Declaration of Independence, right? Let's go and remember what's going on. We're gonna read this real quick because I think y'all need to just remember what's happening, right? The unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America, when in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature. Everybody put peace, nature in the comments. We got to remember what the hell is going on here, right? Everybody put peace, nature. The laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to separation. You feel me? Now, we're going to talk about a few things because I'm trying to let y'all know. There ain't no papers. There ain't no documents that you can submit. There's no paperwork that you can sign. There's nothing that you can do where you're dealing with the devil that's going to free you. Anything that you sign, anytime you deal with them, it's a contract. And if you contract with the devil, whether it looks like you're freeing yourself or not, you are binding yourself, right? Because if I send a petition We know the truth now. Peace. If I send a petition, if I make a vote, if I do any of these things, doesn't it require them to respect it? Doesn't it require their approval? And if it requires their approval, then doesn't that mean that they're still in control? We gotta wake up, right? This is necessary. This is necessary. And what they've done is they've taken us away from nature. They've taken us away from the laws of nature. They've taken us away from nature's God. And they've given us a system, right? So let's scroll down a little bit, right? This is talking about the king that these motherfuckers still bow down to, whether you like it or not. The king, the pope, all these different entities are who they bow down to. He has kept among us in times of peace standing armies without the consent of our legislatures, right? The same shit is happening. You don't think there was a government here that existed before these people showed up? It was. The government was ran by your people. It was ran by you. It was ran by your ancestors. You feel me? So that means it still exists. It's just not being ran because we're blinded from who we really are, right? We're the heirs to this land. We're the heirs to this nation that exists here, right? And they have standing armies here. He has affected to render the military independent of and superior to the civil power, right? He has combined with others to subject us to a jurisdiction foreign to our Constitution. Y'all know what jurisdiction means, right? And unacknowledged by our laws, giving his assent to their acts of pretended legislation, right? Yo, we can't move fast when we're talking about the truth. You got to take your time. I take my time because I know when I take my time, the devil's going to leave because the devil's impatient. The devil's going to go somewhere to go eat off the energy of somebody else because they're going to realize, oh shit, Rashaud Poet's lives ain't the place where I could go siphon energy. I got to go somewhere else, right? So let's go back to this picture real quick, and I want y'all to pay close attention to something, right? It was the cops that did it. Ain't it always the cops? It's always the cops, ain't it? It's always the cops. If you deal with the cops, right, and your situation don't turn out like this, who do you go deal with after you deal with the cops? After you deal with the cops, who's next in line for you to go deal with? Does anybody know? The judge, right? The judge, the judge, the judge, the judge, the judge, the judge, y'all. It's the judge. You go after you deal with these cops, you go deal with a judge, right? What is a judge? A judge. What is a noun? A person, place, or a thing, right? So what is this thing that we're dealing with? A war leader. So if the judge is the war leader, then what does that make the police? If the judge is the war leader, wouldn't that make the police the standing armies? Right? So when you see these things happening, it'll be cool for you to be like, oh, it's racism. That's cool, because that probably does play a role in how easy it is for them to behave like this. But I'm telling you, what's really going on, there's a war going on, right? There's a war going on. Can we all agree? Put a 1 in the comments if you could just immediately see what the fuck is happening. Don't be blind. Right? Don't be blind. Right? For quartering large bodies of armed troops among us. These police are armed troops among us. I used to be in the military, and I'm going to tell y'all right now, something I know for sure. I know for sure. There's a lot of people in the military. Listen to me very closely. All right? Pay attention. There's a lot of people in the military that if the government said the people are your enemy, I'm telling you right now, you will be that, and they will not give a damn. You think otherwise, right? If you want to. He has abdicated government here by declaring us out of his protection and waging war against us. He has plundered our seas, ravaged our coasts, burnt our towns, and destroyed the lives of our people. What does this sound like to you? Does this sound like what we're dealing with? Or does this don't sound like what we're dealing with right now? Now watch this. In every stage of these oppressions, we have petitioned for redress. In the most humble terms, our repeated petitions have been answered only by repeated injury. What? Come on. What is a petition? A supplication or a prayer, especially to a deity. That's because they destiny swapped with you. You were the guys and goddesses, and they turned you into beasts of the field. That's why a lot of people behave like beasts of the field. Because you forgot who you were and you lost your way. You know? Our repeated petitions have been answered only by repeated injury. A prince whose charter is thus marked by every act which may define a tyrant is unfit to be a ruler of a free people. Are you not a free people? Or do you not wish to be a free people? Right? What is a tyrant? Absolute ruler, right? Absolute ruler, unlimited by law or constitution. A lord, a master, a sovereign. A cruel governor. Y'all don't see the cruelty? Y'all don't see the cruelty taking place? How many individuals live paycheck to paycheck? You don't think that's cruelty? Right? Y'all see this word right here? There's a reason why you forgot who you were. Right? Everybody write despot in the comments. DESPOT. Everybody write despot in the comments. Because the thing is, these people have really told on themselves in every form and fashion. They really have. Now, they done tricked you into not looking, right? Everybody has to deal with this, right? And this is what they did to fuck you up and make you forget who you were, right? Education. What does that say? All education is despotism. Do y'all know what despotism is? Absolute power, unrestricted and unlimited authority. Tyranny, right? Tyranny is the abuse of absolute power, legal or usurped. Now, y'all been in these lives where people talk about nation building and all that, or whatever they be talking about. Ain't that one of the favorites, famous words they be using? We've been usurped. I know y'all heard that before. And implies oppression. Don't y'all be hearing that all the time? Usurped. Tyranny. Tyranny is taking place. A tyrant, right? But the thing about it is, a lot of people will hear about this, and in their simple minds, they'll be like, oh, Trump, Trump, Trump. But it's not just Trump, it's the government. Because that's just one entity. It's just one entity. Do you get it? The government is a body, it's one thing. They make you feel like you're picking sides and choosing, and you got your favorite this person, and oh, that person's good, but that person's bad. I'm voting for this person. I'm not voting for that person. I'm doing this. All these people are the same fucking people. You understand? All of these people are the same. None of them are different. They're not separate. There's not a better side. If you, you know, there's no choices. They trick you into thinking that there's choices, right? So they give you left and right, they give you blue and red, they give you all these different things, but it's all the same. It's just a trick, right? The reason why they have to give you these choices is because it makes you forget that there's another choice, which is the choice of being free. You know what I mean? Right? Hold on, we gotta look something up. Right? Let's remember what we just read. He has combined with others to subject us to a jurisdiction foreign to our Constitution and unacknowledged by our laws, giving his assent to their acts of pretended legislation. Right? I'm gonna show you how they played in your face. Right? We kind of went over this, but we're gonna go over it again, and we're gonna go a little bit deeper into it. Watch this. Let's see how they played. Color of law. Right? This is based on Cornell law. Right? Color of law refers to the appearance, right? Appearance of legal authority or an apparently legal right that may not exist, right? Pretend it. Don't that sound like pretend? It may not exist. Don't that sound like somebody could be pretending? The term is often used to describe the abuse of power under the guise of state authority, a guise, and is therefore illegal. The term was used in the Civil Rights Act of 1871, where the color of law was synonymous with state action and referred to an official whose conduct was so closely associated with the state that the conduct was deemed to be the action of that state. The act grants citizens the right to sue the government officials and their agents for using their power to violate civil rights. An example is the history of redlining, right? So all this shit is still taking place, whether you like it or not. Redlining, all that stuff is still taking place. This information leads us right back to something that was mentioned earlier. In essence, American Indians had only a right of occupancy, which could be abolished, right? The following was stated in an article on Britannica.com about civil rights, all right? Unlike other rights concepts, such as human rights or natural rights, in which people acquire rights inherently, perhaps from God or nature, everybody type nature in the comments. Everybody type nature in the comments. Everybody. I know y'all hands is free. Y'all don't have to act like y'all hands ain't free. Don't just be a looky loo. You know what I mean? Don't just be here to look. You feel me? Type nature in the comments. Right? I don't mind taking my time. You know what I mean? When you take your time, the demons leave. That's just what I learned. When you take your time, the demons leave. Parasites don't have patience. Oh, baby. All right. Unlike other rights concepts, such as human rights or natural rights, in which people acquire rights inherently, perhaps from God or nature, civil rights must be given and guaranteed by the power of the state. This is the same state that was whooping your ass so bad that they had to create something to protect you from itself. So you turned your back on nature to accept protection from the same people whooping your ass. Ain't that what that said? Or did I read that wrong? Am I tripping? You turned your back on nature to get protected by the same people whooping your ass. Right? That's because people are playing pretend. They're pretending like they have power. And their power rests in the people. So as long as the people believe that they have power, then that means they have power, right? Because it may not exist. But if the people believe it exists, then it does. Is it a bailiff? Nah, okay. It's not a bailiff. Now, let's talk about playing pretend again, right? This is a deputy. Put a 1 in the comments if you've ever had to deal with a deputy in any sense, whether it be out in the streets, in court, at the mall. You've walked past them, you've seen them anywhere, right? Because remember, we're talking about people playing pretend. Because people that are playing pretend are getting the upper hand on you because you don't know any better. Deputy, subordinate officer, one given the full power of an officer without holding the office. What? Does that sound like pretend? Am I tripping, or does that sound like pretend again? Right? Sounds like pretend to me. So if it sounds like pretend, doesn't it sound like the appearance of legal authority or an apparently legal right that may not exist? Doesn't it sound like legal authority that may not exist? Full power of an officer without holding the office. Right? But you know what they'll do, right? They're going to trick you. They're going to trick you with words. They're going to trick you by playing word games. Right? One reason why you have the right to remain silent is because your improper grammar can lead to being damned or judicially sentenced. Some would say that it is imperative for you to be well versed in legalese, right? Everybody type legalese in the comments. I don't know if my pen's gonna work. Oh, it does. Everybody type legalese in the comments. These things are important. Right? All right. Which is a language in itself. You will come to find that in different venues of this realm, different languages were/are used for specific purposes. Some of these languages contain words that you use on a daily basis, but in that particular venue, they can have a completely different meaning. You know the word understand, right, to mean that you comprehend something, while in other venues, your understanding can literally mean to occupy space at a lower level, right? And figuratively to submit, right? So when you dealt with that deputy, how many times did that deputy ask you if you understand? A million times, right? What is submit? Place oneself under the control of another, right? So if I don't have power, but my power depends on you, because we're all playing pretend, and I need you to pretend like I have power, wouldn't I ask you over and over if you understand? Because understand means to submit. So wouldn't I continuously ask you, do you understand? Do you understand? You talk to the judge is like, they'll tell you what you're being charged of, and they'll be like, do you understand Do you understand the charges? Do you understand? Do you understand? If you deal with the police and a judge, you're going to hear the word understand a million times, right? Because they're playing pretend and they need you to play pretend with them, right? They need you to place yourself under the control of them. Place yourself under their control, right? Because as soon as you understand, then that means their appearance of legal authority exists, right? As soon as you understand, now you're saying their legal authority does exist, right? Because it may or may not exist. But as soon as you understand, it does, right? You ever heard of pledge? Right? Y'all remember when y'all were getting your education, which is despotism, right? And they, as a child, before you even knew what words mean, you didn't even know your ABCs all the way. You didn't even know how to count to 100 yet. They made you pledge your allegiance to a flag. You didn't even know how to count to 100 before they were teaching you how to pledge allegiance. You still had to use your two fingers to try to say you're 3 years old, to try to hold these ones together, because you didn't have full control of your hands yet. You were still trying to learn how to use your hands. So when you were telling people you were 3, you would be like this. That's how young you were. And this finger's all jacked up. Y'all remember being young or having young children and you try to tell them to say 3 and you just go like that and they be like, and their fingers be like, you know, that's peace, Roxy. That's how young you were when they made you pledge allegiance, when they made you promise, right? Promise faith to, right? Promise your faith under oath. Put your hand over your heart. Under oath, pledge your allegiance to a flag. My granddaughter is doing it now at 2. Exactly. A solemn promise, right? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands. What does that mean? What does it mean to pledge allegiance to a republic but be in a democracy? Right? Republics, a republic is a represent. Damn, I can't see. I wish I could take the top of this off. Well, a republic is a representative government ruled by a constitution where elected officials make decisions protecting minority rights from majority rule, right? So maybe the reason why they had to turn it into a democracy in the sense of what they did is because minority rights are not protected by the majority or from the majority rule, right? That's why they created civil rights and all these different things, because the minorities were getting abused, right? A direct democracy is ruled by immediate majority vote. The U.S. is a constitutional federal republic, utilizing representative democracy, incorporating elements of both, right? So maybe they were doing something different than what they should have been doing, so they had to change it up a little bit, right? To the republic, but then you tell us that it's not really a republic. It's something else. It's a mixture of things. Republican government, republic, right? A state where supreme power is held by the people. Do you feel do y'all feel put a one in the comments if you feel like you don't have supreme power under the system we're in. If you feel like you don't have supreme power in this system, put a one in the comments.